Micah Frankel, Cage Minds, Fight Week for Southwest MMA Series 28. Joined right now by Jacob Martos, going to be part of the amateur card taking on Derrick Pringle. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I just finished training, just finished some conditioning, and I feel great. Weight is good. I'm ready to fight.
Tell us where you train at. What gyms do you work out at?
So I kind of been bouncing around a little bit. My home gym and where I do all of my training and the gym that I represent is Gracie Barra Los Cruces, under the tutelage of Jacob Benitez. I had been traveling earlier in this camp. I went to Gracie Barra El Paso, and I actually went up to Jackson's Acoma as well to get some training in. But that was I want to say like 4 weeks ago. Most of my camp has been out of Gracie Barra Los Cruces. Like I said, that's my home gym. So.
And this is going to be your second amateur fight, correct?
That's correct.
1-0 right now. We saw you get the first victory just at the Jackson's MMA Series 27. Why are you in this journey? Why are you a martial artist?
Man, it's been a long one. I've been a martial artist for a while, and I really got into it just to let off some steam and be able to exert some energy. And I just fell in love with it and started competing, and I really fell in love with competition. I fell in love with testing myself and going out there, putting on a show. I love the energy. I love, everyone's energy and everyone's vibe, and it's just awesome, man. I love doing it.
And like we said, this is your second MMA fight coming up, but how long have you been doing martial arts altogether?
Man, it's actually this month. It'll be 10 years now. I started boxing when I was 14. So I'm 23 now. I turned 24 in August. So it'll be 10 years coming up real soon. I started boxing when I was 14, and around 16, 17, I decided to make the journey over to jiu-jitsu, and I started branching out into the other aspects of martial arts, other aspects of combat, and really just fell in love with it. I always kind of felt like, I love boxing. Boxing is I love it. The technique and the sweet science is beautiful, but it is also very a limited form of combat. And so when I branched out and I started doing jiu-jitsu, I really realized, like, man, there's so much more to this, this journey that there's to learn, and I just fell in love with it.
So what made you want to choose to continue to compete, going from the boxing to the jiu-jitsu? What made you want to actually transition all the way full to MMA?
When I first started doing martial arts, actually, I was looking for a mixed martial arts gym. I actually wanted to just kind of jump into everything and, just start training everything, ground game, grappling, striking, everything. But what was really promoted around my city at the time when I started was boxing. I'm sure Austin Trout is from Los Cruces, and he's been kind of, making his way up, and he's been doing really well in his aspect of his sport, and it was just really publicized. And so I was like, man, well, we got a boxing gym, we got a really good boxing gym, high quality boxing gym, might as well go learn from them. And so that's where I ended up going. But like I said, I started watching mixed martial arts before anything. Before I started really watching boxing, I started watching mixed martial arts. And so when I ventured into this journey, I started with boxing, and the reason being just because it was a little bit more promoted around my city. And I think it was a really good base, a really good way for me to start, because boxing basics I think they're very important in mixed martial arts. Keep your chin safe, keep your hands up, and I just think it's really good. So I'm glad I started with that.
And at this point in your development, what kind of fighter do you consider yourself?
I consider myself just a mixed martial artist. I have confidence in my ability really anywhere it goes, whether that be the ground, whether that be striking in the clinch. I really just have faith in my ability to defend myself as well as be effective in attacking from all situations. So I like to strike. I do prefer more so a striking fight. I know in my last fight it was more of um, a grappling fight. And most of the time I took him down, and I was able to control him and land damaging shots, and eventually I got the finish in the second round. But this fight, I was able to get a lot more training in, a lot more striking with my head coach Jacob Benitez, and I just feel I'm gonna be able to go and showcase my striking a little bit more. Like I said, I'm a mixed martial artist, so I'm able to adapt, and wherever it goes, I'll be ready.
Was it exciting first time out armbar finish?
Oh man, I was stoked. It was amazing. I love, everything about it coming out, feeling the crowd and my family being there, and being able to get the finish was just the cherry on top. I'm happy to compete, and I'm happy to test myself, and happy to put on a show. That's the goal at the end of the day, is to test myself and put on a good show for the fans. Want them to be excited, to see me fight. And yeah, man, I was pumped. I was able to get the armbar and represent for my Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu back here in Cruces. And yeah, it was exciting.
You get the win, you get the finish. What did the coaches say was going to be the next step in your development?
We went right away. I came out of that last fight relatively healthy. I took a couple knees and had to lay off a little bit, but I came back in the gym, and I just made sure I kept my conditioning up, and really we're working on making sure that I can keep the distance and work on my striking, more so in the aspect of being able to keep it on the feet, right? Because I do have jiu-jitsu. I'm a purple belt under Jacob Benitez, so I'm very confident in my jiu-jitsu ability. But the goal is, of course, not to really. I mean, if it goes there, it goes there. If I need to take it there, I need to take it there. That's not a big deal. But we're really working on developing my sprawling, developing my ability to stay in the position that I want to, which is like a technical type of fight, using my feints, staying long, countering, using my striking. So we've been really developing and really working on my ability to get out of the clinch, my ability to avoid takedowns. So that's what we've been working on a lot.
This level of the amateurs, you're not going to know too much about your opponent. So if at all, do you know anything about Derrick Pringle heading into this encounter?
I don't know too much about him, other than the fact that I believe he won his first fight in the first round with a rear naked choke. So, and again, I don't know how it got there. I don't know if he is a wrestler and he took him down. I don't know if he hit him with a strike and he finished him up off the feet, or finished him up on the ground. I'm not too sure. But I do know he has some grappling. Obviously, if he can, finish off with the rear naked choke in the first round, that's impressive. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't really know too much about him. I'm just ready for wherever it goes, ready to adapt, ready to create my openings and capitalize on them.
What's your expectations then for your performance come Saturday night?
Expectations for my performance? Well, I have a very high expectation to showcase my striking ability. Last camp, I did a lot of jiu-jitsu training. I did a lot of grappling. My head instructor, Jacob Benitez, actually had a jiu-jitsu competition the week before my fight. So I did a lot of jiu-jitsu, and I was able to showcase my jiu-jitsu. I think I did a really good job in, showing the technical ability that I have on the ground. And this one, I'm looking to stay calm. I'm looking to keep the distance, looking to find my shots, find my openings, and really just pick them apart on the feet. if the takedown presents itself and it's open, yeah, I'll take it. But other than that, I think my expectation is just to go in there, put on a good show, and showcase my striking ability, showcase my other skills that I have.
Second fight's coming up. It's fight week, the preparation, the lead into. How do you look back on the last fight week, on the last lead up to the fight?
For my last one?
Yeah.
Camp was awesome for the last one. I got a lot of work in. Like I said, my team here at Gracie Barra Los Cruces, oh man, they're a bunch of killers, so they put it on me, and I work hard. I put a lot of work in, and leading up to it, I was ready to go. Man. I was confident. I was calm. I was collected. I was not nervous. I wasn't anxious, nothing. I was just in my element. I was ready to go. I felt like waking up to have breakfast. It was a very good experience, and I think a lot of that comes from just the work that I put in. I know, man, I work hard, and I don't need to say it. I'll show it, but my team knows it, my family knows it, and they see the work that I put in, and that's where my confidence comes from. I know that I've done every single possible thing that I can. I know every single ounce of effort that I have has been put into this training camp and was put into that last training camp, and I'm ready to go.
Anybody that you got to thank or shout out to, sir?
Oh, man, where do I start? So I got to start with my wife, Maria. She's always there for me. She supports me. She supported me from day one, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't be the person that I am if it wasn't for her. My family, my parents have supported me from day one as well. They've always been there, and they're always going to be there, and I'm so thankful, and I'm blessed. My gym, Gracie Barra Los Cruces, I put in so much work, and man, they laid it down for me. It's not just me putting in that work. They get in there and they sweat and they bleed, and they put in that work in there with me, and I'm super blessed. I'm super grateful that they're willing to do that. And I got to thank my strength and conditioning coach, Craig Ansbach, at the Performance Lance up there in Albuquerque, actually. He has written me up both of my strength and conditioning programs for my last fight and for this fight, and really keeps me strong, keeps my body together with the strength work, and I'm really grateful for that. My head coach, Jacob Benitez, has put in so much work with me and staying late nights, and I'm just super grateful that he's been able to do that with me and willing to put in that work with me. And, everyone here in Las Cruces that supports me, man, I have so much support. I got people buying shirts. I got people buying tickets, going up there to watch me fight. I got sponsors down here. My sponsors, Jacobo Martos and Company, Impact Electric Services, Classic Industries, Dr. Sam with Las Cruces Dental Associates, Herrera Transportation. All of my sponsors have been a huge help in helping me get ready for this, and keeping me fed and full. And I'm just super grateful, super blessed, and I'm ready to represent.
Saturday night, Buffalo Thunder, Southwest MMA Series 28. Everybody be there live. Only way that you can see the event. It's going to be an action-packed night. Jacob Martos, again, thank you, sir, for the time.
Absolutely. And if I could just real quick, I do apologize. My name is Jacob in English, but in Spanish it's Jacobo. So it's Jacob0 Martos.
Jacobo.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, I said that correctly. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the time, sir.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.